Okay, we're live for Lady and the Legend. Sunday morning, it's mostly going to be the lady.
Little energy. Come on, a little energy, please. Go ahead. Welcome aboard. Hello. Goodbye. We're calling from Coney Island. There you go.
Keep talking.
Oh, we're talking from the car. I'm the driver. She's the passenger. We're passing Coney Island in Brooklyn. And we're headed east. We should be back home in just a few minutes and maybe an hour. Who knows what's going on? And thank you for everybody who's appearing in the chat room. The Lady and the Legend. Nobody stops us. Okay, we do it from the road, from the plane. We do it from a helicopter. We're doing it. So welcome aboard.
1 second.
1 second. Okay.
I'm just telling the chat room to refresh because the sound is good.
Okay. I'm changing my lanes now. Okay?
Okay.
So there you go. Welcome aboard, everybody. Lady and the Legend. Here's the lady.
We're in the car. Lenny's driving. We're actually... Are we on Long Island yet?
We're still in Brooklyn.
We're still in Brooklyn, but we're close to the island.
We just passed Coney Island.
Yeah, we just passed Coney Island, and so it is the Lady and the Legend, but mostly the lady. And so...
wait, how do you know?
Because you're supposed to be driving.
I'm supposed to be driving. I do my best driving when I talk baseball.
Okay, well, don't tailgate.
All right, good. I'm not tailgating. Good.
Okay. All right. Today should be Josh Donaldson Day in the chat room, according to SM King Turd, but I would like to say that I'm going to give it to Jose Ramirez for knocking down the punk Tim Anderson that he is. I know everybody likes Tim Anderson. I really haven't liked the guy for a while, and he doesn't have the statistics to be acting like an ass, and then he messes around with one of the toughest guys in the game, and yesterday was a huge brawl. I guess it's kind of fun watching a brawl. Even Terry Francona, I just got done reading at The Athletic. I mean, the article came out literally like 5 minutes ago, but I did get to the part where Francona said after the game, it's not funny, but if you hear the announcer, because the announcer says something like, and down goes Anderson. Do you remember that in the boxing? Down goes Frazier?
Yeah, down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier.
Well, he did a down goes Anderson last night,
really?
And Francona said it's not a funny situation, but when you listen to Hammy do it, the announcer, then you got to have a chuckle at least. But we're going to talk more about that as we go. But let me go ahead and say hi to everybody in the chat room.
Hi, everybody. How you doing, kids? How's everybody in the chat room? Can everybody hear us? Is the sound as good as it is in the car?
The people in the cars next to us can hear us.
Yeah, they hear. How you doing there?
All right. Boston Paul, Chris Gallo, Daniel Ferrara. Yay, Daniel here for the White Sox stuff. Danny Fuller, Mr. Dodgers. Eddie Heckman. James Caprilion, 9 o'clock tea time for James. King Hab, love to see ya. Leonard Donaldson, King Turd, Turd Jr., Tommy Johnson, and a couple guests. Thank you for joining us. Lenny didn't get to promote the show today, so we're kind of doing a little test to see if it really increases the chat room or if you guys just know to come and that. Okay, let's go. The Angels are 5 games out of a wild card spot and would need to jump 4 teams in the final 51 games to make the playoffs. Can you all hear me good? Danny, sound is great? Okay.
I was up at 4 o'clock in the morning. 4 o'clock. I'm not tailgating.
Yes, you are, Lenny.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Please.
All right, I was up at 4 a.m. So if I tailgate, I have an excuse. Go ahead.
God, good Lord. Okay. Of all the left-handed pitchers who have at least 15 starts this season, the hardest one to steal against is Justin Steele.
Justin can't steal.
Can't steal against Justin Steele.
Yeah.
He's allowed 3 steals and he's caught 4 people trying to steal. So just remember that. When Steele is up, they can't steal. That's a good tidbit.
That's great.
Okay. Yoan Moncada has 71 career plate appearances with the bases loaded. Now, this is going to just go to show you how much different Yoan Moncada is than he used to be. Oh, there's a cop. Good job you're not tailgating, Leonard.
I'm in the middle lane, too.
All right, the first 35 plate appearances of his career with the bases loaded.
Wait a second. Here comes the cop. I think he wants to be on the air. Yeah, if the cop stops us, just let him say a few words, okay? Because I think that's what he's trying to do.
Is he really coming?
No.
All right, the first 35 plate appearances from Moncada with the bases loaded, he hit .452 with 8 extra base hits. The most recent 36 plate appearances, he's batted .172 with no extra base hits when the bases are loaded.
When he first came out, I thought Moncada was going to be a star.
You weren't the only one, but I knew.
A fantasy star. Even up to last year, I thought he was going to be a star. But I think I'm finally off the Moncada bandwagon. I'm off the White Sox bandwagon. But I still think next year, some of the White Sox are going to be bargains. Tim Anderson might be one.
Are you guys there in the chat room? I don't see any typing going on. All right, Brett Beatty. I think it's time for the Mets to send this kid back down to the minors. He's 4 for his last 39 over his last 12 games. That's a 102 batting average.
Just ask how's the sound.
I have been, Lenny.
Okay, all right.
Please.
How's the sound, everybody? Just let us know the sound is good, Eddie Ackman.
Okay, I just had to refresh my chat room. It wasn't going anywhere. Okay.
Okay.
So they're in the chat room. Everybody's good.
Okay, good.
All right. Now, Brett Beatty, in his last 12 games, he's batting 102, and he hasn't shown any progress at the major league level. And now his average on the season is 220. But like I said, over the past 12 games, he's been horrible. He needs to be sent down to the minors because the Mets aren't going to win any more games anyway, right, Leonard?
Well, you need to be sent to the minors. Then when you send them to the minors, the Met fans say you should be in the lineup every day. You gotta, that's what it is with baseball. So many people think he should be playing because the Mets are out of it. Other people, can see that he's not ready yet, so he should be back in the minors. It's a very tough call. But the truth is that he can't hurt himself playing in the majors.
King Hap says it's Lenny's driving school. Can you even imagine, dude? It's not even funny. This is not funny. Okay. C.J. Abrams, since July 1st, batting...
Now, there's a rookie. There's a rookie that the Mets don't have. You can talk about Beatty, you can talk about Vientos, and all these guys. Nobody comes close to C.J. Abrams. Tell him why.
Since July 1st, he's batting .321 with 24 runs, 3 homers, 10 RBIs, 16 stolen base, and an .872 OPS. Since July 1st, he's on a 92 steals pace.
92 steals?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what he's on pace for since July 1st, though.
Right, okay.
He hasn't done that all season.
All right.
3 teams have 0 ninth inning come from behind victories. Who are they, everybody in the chat room? We want to see your guesses. There's 3 teams in baseball who have not had a 9th inning come from behind win. And that's it.
All right. Anybody guessing?
Not yet, because they have to hear the question first.
Is the chat room working?
Yes, it's working. Good. Everything's good.
Fantastic.
I see Jeremy George is here. Nice to see you, Jeremy. And let me check the chat room again for Unholy. Is Unholy here? No.
I don't know.
Sometimes he doesn't come on Sundays. But Jeremy George is here. I know James has to leave early for a golf game. I hope you have a great round of golf today. Tommy Johnson, great to see you, too. Corbin Carroll in the first half, .289 batting average, .366 on base percentage. James Outman first half, .236 average, .318 on base percentage. Corbin Carroll, second half, it's like these two traded places. He's only batting .226 with a .310 on base percentage, but James Outman in the second half batting .318 with a .500 on base percentage.
Oh boy! And then you got this kid Jimenez, who started off like the best player in baseball. He hasn't stolen the base. You reported that yesterday. Well, it's been about 2 weeks since he stole the base. Cincinnati's lost. Jimenez, not Jimenez.
Ellie.
Ellie De La Cruz. So he stopped stealing. Cincinnati stopped winning. A rookie is a rookie is a rookie.
Jazz Chisholm, we had some comments by Triple Play yesterday after Jazz Chisholm hit the injured list. Or did he hit the injured list? I don't know yet. He might be pinch hitting or something.
Yeah, he's better.
We'll talk more about Jazz Chisholm when we get to the games. But in his last 107 games, 24 home runs, 27 stolen bases, 124 OPS plus, 2 defensive run saves at second base and third. He's very talented, okay?
He's going to go in a trade.
He doesn't play third either, by the way.
Okay, the Marlins are going to make a trade. They're going to make a trade for offense, but at the same token, they're going to be trading Jazz Chisholm and getting 2 or 3 offensive players. That's what they're going to be doing.
Okay. Now, I'm trying to refresh the chat room, but I'm not getting great reception from my iPad in the car. Whoa. Just stay in the middle lane, Leonard.
I'm right here.
Okay, keep on just doing what you do in the chat room. I'm trying to refresh it, so I can't read comments right now, but so here's an interesting tidbit from Boston Paul. He let me know that, and this is so interesting because we tend to look at the Cardinals with a lot of respect, and they're just well known. And over the past, ever since I became a baseball fan, the Cardinals have been one of the best organizations in baseball, if not the best organization. They've gone out of their way to do nice things for their players, their fans. They always seem to have a contending team, whether they're in it or not. They're always trying. They always have a decent amount of prospects. And it feels like lately, you hold on to these ideas in baseball that you have in your head, and it takes a while for it to... Are you switching lanes?
I'm driving! I'm okay, I'm just driving. Okay, I'm going to the Cross Island Parkway.
Okay. All right. Anyway, the Cardinals have traded away Alcantara, Zach Gallen, Adolis Garcia, Rosarita, Lane Thomas, and Patrick Wisdom to get Marcelo Zuna, Matthew Liberatore, a rental John Lester at 37 years old, a Comp B pick, Drew Robinson, and cash.
Cardinals have given away a lot of players. They've made a lot of bad moves, but I think the Cardinals, it's going to be 2 years, and Liberatore is the key. If Liberatore pitches well, the Cardinals could be okay.
Okay, it looks like I got the chat room back.
Okay.
Yeah, it says Gibbs, Jay Gibbs, hello to you and Clark. He's a Cardinal fan. He says that we know how to make trades. Haha. Yeah, not so much lately. All right, we're to the games now. The Yankees beat the Astros 3-1. The Yankees won for the third time in 4 games. The Astros fell to 11-6 in their last 17 games and struck out 16 times. That was one shy of their season high.
And Nestor Cortez won't be back for a while. He's not coming back right away as we expected.
He pitched last night.
Oh, he did. Then, guess what? Then I was wrong. Okay.
Justin Verlander began his second stint with the Houston Astros by pitching 7 solid innings. He gave a go-ahead homer to Jake Bauers, but only allowed 2 runs on 7 hits, losing a regular season start to the Yankees for the first time since June 2015. He struck out 4 and walked 2. He's 10-8 against New York in the regular season. Nestor Cortez struck out a season-high 8 over 4 innings. It was an encouraging return to the mound following the 2 months on the injured list. He only threw 64 pitches, but we did see a slight uptick in his fastball velocity. Gleyber Torres home run. Giancarlo Stanton reached base 3 times. Altuve hit his 200th career homer, and Clay Holmes got his 16th save. Tonight is Jose Urquidy against Carlos Rodon. Urquidy has been injured since May 1st because of right shoulder discomfort, so he will be making his return today against Carlos Rodon, who has a 6.29 ERA. He's 1-4 on the season. Just give me a break with this guy. Jake Rogers drove in 3 runs. Akil Baddoo homered. The Detroit Tigers beat Aaron Savali and the Tampa Rays 4-2. Detroit entered the game with a 3-17 record against the Rays and had lost all 4 meetings with them this season. Tarek Skubal picked up the win. He allowed an unearned run and 6 hits in 5 1/3. He struck out 6 and walked 1. Savali lost for the first time in 11 career starts against the Tigers. He gave up 3 runs and 9 hits in 4 1/3.
Aaron Savali is a good pitcher. What's the matter?
We got our blinker on.
Yeah, I know it's on. I put it on.
But we're in the slow lane.
Well, I was changing lanes from the middle lane to the slow lane. I had my blinker on. Excuse me.
Okay, I just don't want it on the show. Okay.
2 more times than it was supposed to. Go ahead. Has anybody seen the team? Can anybody remember any Major League Baseball team collapsing as much as the Tampa Rays have collapsed this year?
King Turd for general manager. All right, I want to see. Yeah, Eddie's telling you to quit yelling.
Okay, sorry.
All right, here's some guesses for the question on the team there's 3 teams that have not had a comeback win this year in the 9th inning. Hello, Jeremy George. Leonard Donaldson says the White Sox. Boston Paul says, what can I do for you?
Have my cold drink? There you go, thank you. I got it.
Just let me take the lid off. All right, we have Oakland, Arizona, the Mets. Let me see what the answer is. I should have remembered this. All right, the answer is the Brewers, the Rangers, and the Orioles. So if you guessed that, I didn't see any of those in the chat room. It's amazing the Rangers haven't. I think they've had like 15 double-digit wins this year. You want me to take that? All right, we're getting on Long Island Expressway, bitches.
In the car. In the car. There you go.
All right. Okay, here we go. Back to action. I'm just getting on a roll here. All right. Bo Brisk got his first career save. Matt Manning and Tyler Glasnow tonight. Dansby Swanson homered against his former team in a 5-run first inning, and the Cubbies beat the Braves yesterday 8-6. It was Dansby's 17th homer of the season. Chicago Cubbies went into the game leading the majors in runs since the All-Star break. And like I said yesterday, they rank 5th in run differential on the season. And they're ranking 1st since the All-Star break. So they're really doing a good job. They also began the day 2.5 games behind Milwaukee and 2 games out of a wild card spot. So, hey, the Cubbies still have a chance. Bryce Elder went 4 1/3 innings and permitted 7 runs on 7 hits. Only 5 runs were earned. Heimer Candelario hit his first home run since being acquired by the Cubbies. He went 2 for 4 with 2 runs. It was his 17th homer of the year, too. So, can you believe Candelario has 17 and Dansby Swanson has 17? Interesting, right? Ian Happ hit a homer. Marcelo Zuna was ejected in the top of the 4th after striking out looking and then getting pissed off. Ozzie Albies' 25th home run. Acuna went 3 for 5 with an RBI, and Cody Bellinger went 2 for 3 with an RBI and scored twice. Marcus Stroman was scheduled to play catch yesterday, and tonight you get to see Charlie Morton against Justin Steele.
How many think that Ozzie Albies deserves some consideration for most valuable player? Stolen bases, home runs, playing the infield position. Albies, the fantasy all-star.
Yeah. But he's on the wrong team for that. Oh, no. Right? Isn't he on the wrong team for that? He's a freaking Brave, right?
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't even come close to some other people on his team.
Right.
But still, he is good. Rangers overcame a 5-0 deficit to beat the Marlins 9-8 for their 5th consecutive victory. The Rangers lead the AL West by 2.5 games over the Astros, and they entered play yesterday leading the majors, averaging 5.75 runs per game, and fell one short of their 23rd double-digit performance. Not 15, like I said, 23rd double-digit performance this year. The Marlins have lost 3 straight, but with Cincinnati's loss yesterday, they still remain a half game out of the NL's final wild card spot.
All right. Last night, we met many of the Sirius XM people, and we were out kind of late. We get up at 5 o'clock this morning. When did you have a chance to look at all these games?
I got up with you at 5, and I've just been looking at them since.
Okay.
I did it in the car in between my babysitting.
Okay, go ahead. Just wanted to know, because I think you're born with that information. But go ahead.
Does it sound good, Leonard?
It sounds wonderful, and you look even better on the radio. Go
Don't
ahead.
I look pretty this morning?
Yes, you do.
I don't have any makeup on. My hair is in a bun.
so is mine.
We just put our shades on and leave.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. All right. As long as you stay in the middle of the lane and don't tailgate.
Oh, wait, can I ask the chat room my
Yes.
question? All right, so we're staying at a hotel, and I called the hotel the night before, and I asked, I really need your help with this.
Oh, good grief.
I asked for a wake-up call.
Jeez Louise, this is going to haunt me.
I asked for a wake-up call. I called the desk, and they said, no problem, Mr. Melnick. The next morning, we do not get a wake-up call. What would you do? Should you be expecting anything like a free room or something? Something, because they never made the wake-up call. Tell me what to do.
You know what you're going to do no matter what the chat room says. You already did it. Let me tell you what he did do. Now, I agree that forgetting somebody's wake-up call is a huge mistake. If you do that, people could miss their flights home, which is a nightmare, okay? But we did not need the wake-up call to get our flight home. We like to get up at a certain time. It was for convenience only. But Lenny, he gets sick of sitting in the room yesterday when I'm getting ready to go to this barbecue. He goes downstairs. He's supposed to be in the car waiting, in the air-conditioned car. I'm going to take about 15 minutes more to get my clothes on and go. So I come walking down the stairs, and as soon as I get off the elevator, I hear Lenny's voice in the lobby on the phone with the hotel yelling at him in the lobby. I said, you need to get out of here right now. Get out of the lobby immediately.
Was I wrong in expecting the hotel to compensate me in some way? They said, what do you want us to do? I said, give me a free room for tonight. I'm staying for 2 nights. Give me tonight's room for free.
And he couldn't do it.
And they wouldn't do it. I'm not done yet. Go ahead, Andy.
Okay. Let me check the chat room real quick. Let me see what you guys are saying.
I'm not done yet.
They're still talking baseball.
All right, good.
Boston Paul says he would bitch. Malpal says use your phone alarm. You know how Lenny is. We have 2 phone alarms, a tablet alarm. We actually have a traveler alarm clock that we bring with us. There's an alarm clock in the room. and Lenny needs a wake-up call. And he even admitted to my mother that he likes to tell him to give us a wake-up call because on the off chance that they forget, then he has a reason to get a free room. That is exactly how he works. It's so embarrassing. Okay, it's just embarrassing. But what are you gonna do?
You gotta do your job. Go ahead, do your job. If you don't do it and don't accommodate a customer, you gotta give him something. Let's see what they give me.
I'm writing it off, Malpal. I made him promise that he would not call the hotel from the car while I'm in it, that he will go sit outside where he loves to be in the daytime and go make his angry rant calls outside so I don't have to be all stressed out over it.
All right,
and he said he would. Okay, John Gray earned his first victory since June 2nd.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
He allowed 5 runs, 3 of them were earned on 6 hits and 2 walks. And Marlins rookie George Soriano shut out Texas on 1 hit through 3 innings in his first major league start. He made 59 pitches, which is about what Skip Schumacher said he had planned for the rookie. Josh Young, 2-run homer. It was the third of 3 multi-run home runs for Texas yesterday. Robbie Grossman hit a 3-run homer, and Corey Seager had a 2-run homer. Seager actually has 3 homers in 4 games since returning from the injured list with the sprained right thumb. Will Smith got his 20th save. Jake Berger, 26th of the season. Nick Fortes hit a solo homer. And the Marlins, listen to this. The Marlins' John Birdie began the game at third base. He moved to left field in the 3rd inning after Jazz Chisholm left with right hamstring cramps.
What a surprise. What a surprise. Chisholm leaves the game with hamstring cramps.
So John Birdie began the game at third, moved to center field when Jazz Chisholm came out, and then he finished the game at shortstop after Joey Wendell was removed for a pinch hitter. So there's that position eligibility for Birdie that makes him so nice for fantasy. Texas pitchers fan 12 batters and have double-digit strikeouts 5 consecutive games. The franchise record is only 6, so that was done in 2020. But you can believe if they get double-digit strikeouts today, they will have broke the team record. Marlins Huascar Brazoban was recalled from Jacksonville, and they designated Devin Smeltzer for assignment. Chisholm says that he hopes that he's going to play today, and that's all we really have on Jazz Chisholm, except for the fact that, he's got hamstring cramps, and he does say he wants to play today. Of course he wants to play today. That means nothing. Jonah Heim caught on...
he's going to want to play today, but they want to give him a rest.
We'll see what happens.
They're going to give him a rest, even though he wants to play.
Okay. Jonah Heim was playing catch on the side for the first time since he went to the injured list on July 28th. And tonight you get to see Sandy Alcantara against Andrew Haney. Alcantara has won only one of his last 6 starts. And if Haney wins tonight, he will match his high for wins in a season. The Blue Jays held off the Red Sox 5-4 for the second straight day after losing their first 7 games against them this season. It was the 8th win in 13 games for the Blue Jays, who hold the American League's 3rd and final wild card spot. Boston lost for the 6th time in 7 games and fell into last place in the American League East. Boston Red Sox, last place. Jose Berrios gave up 3 runs in 5 2/3 on 6 hits with 6 strikeouts and no walks. I think Berrios is having maybe his best season.
I have Berrios. I drafted him, and quite frankly, I am disappointed. He's had some moments where he was a number 2 starter, but basically he's no more than a number 3, maybe even a number 4 starter. On a first-place team, by the way.
Blue Jays need a better manager. How about you, King Turd? King Turd for Blue Jays manager.
How about Ozzie Guillen?
Yay. Ozzie Guillen chimed in last night about the Tim Anderson fight, too. And he was pretty funny. I can't remember the exact thing. we still subscribe to The Athletics. They have a pretty lengthy article in there, and I was really trying to scan it before I came on today, but it just, like I said, it came out about 4 minutes before the show started. So, anyway, I didn't get it all, but Ozzie Guillen had some stuff to say about that. Anyway, Brandon Belt, solo homer over the Green Monster and had a go-ahead single. George Springer went 4 for 4. Rafael Devers hit his 26th homer. Eric Swanson got his 4th save, and Brennan Bernardino. I was going to put his pitching stats in here, but they never really talked about him. Vladdy Jr. went 0 for 5 and stranded 6 base runners. Ouch.
This is the lady from the car. The Roto lady from the car. It's unbelievable.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Jay Gibbs says that Ozzie Guillen was at Sabre. Oh, that's too cool. And Jeremy Gibbs asked Ozzie who he managed or played with that was most worthy of the Hall of Fame. And he says Sammy Sosa. Right. I love that tidbit because we're big fans of Ozzie, okay? Alex Verdugo was scratched from the starting lineup about 2 hours before the first pitch. There was no word why he was taken out. Duvall took his spot in right field.
It was disciplinary reasons. It was not because of an injury.
Okay. Disciplinary.
I don't know exactly what it was.
Verdugo was punished earlier in the season for not hustling, right?
Yeah, but this was not an injury, so.
Okay. Catcher Danny Jansen was scratched from the lineup about an hour before with right wrist inflammation, and of course Kirk took his spot. Chris Bassett is going to pitch tonight, and the Red Sox have not announced a starter, but it's likely going to be their second straight bullpen game today. All right. Tell me how to pronounce this name. I really need to learn it because he's getting very good. Joan Adon. It might be Yoan Adon, but I'm just going to say Joan. Listen to me with my ridiculous, ignorant English. I have no idea. Please tell me in the chat room if I'm not saying it right. Anyway, his last name is Adon. A-D-O-N. He retired his first 17 batters, and the Washington Nationals beat the Reds 7-3, handing them their 5th consecutive defeat. It's really too bad for the Reds right now. They were so exciting, and they are going to be exciting, so don't lose hope for the Reds. The Nationals matched a season best with their 3rd straight win, and they've actually won 10 of their last 15 games. The poor Reds committed 4 errors for the second time in 4 games, including 2 by De La Cruz at shortstop in 1 play. So Ellie committed 2 errors on 1 play, and I don't want to hear any bad mouthing Ellie. He's just great in my opinion. But you could badmouth. You're allowed to badmouth people if you want. Just because I don't agree doesn't mean you can't do it. Andrew Abbott needed 42 pitches to get through 2 innings. This is the second start in a row that he hasn't been good. He finished with 105 pitches in 5 2/3, but as I said, 42 pitches to get through 2 innings. He set a season high and walked 5 batters. He allowed 9 hits and 6 runs with 3 strikeouts. The 24-year-old Adon made his first major league start since July of 22. He was working on a perfect game with 2 outs in the 6th inning when Luke Maile lined a clean single to right field. But Adon, 3 runs, 3 hits, 6 innings. He struck out 7 and walked none.
Is he a pickup?
Yes. He's 24. And yes, he's a pickup. I mean, look, he pitches for the Nationals.
But is he a pickup?
He had a great outing yesterday.
Is he a pickup?
Sure, I'd pick him up if I needed him, but, I'm not going to be dropping anybody decent to get him.
All right, but he's a pickup.
Absolutely. He finished with 86 pitches. It only took him 86 pitches, and that's right about his projected pitch count. So TJ Friedl, 3-run homer, and Keibert Ruiz, 2 doubles. Tonight you get to see Jake Irvin against Lyon Richardson, Lyon. He's expected to be promoted from the taxi squad to start for Cincinnati since they could have nobody and decided to get nobody at the deadline.
And I'll be on tomorrow at 9 o'clock, better than ever. Guaranteed better than ever.
I'm not done yet, Leonard. I still have lots of games left.
Just tell them I'll be on tomorrow. That's all.
All right. All right, Jay Gibbs drafted a Dawn. Aussie rocks, no BS with him. That's why we like him. Okay. We're on the Long Island Expressway. Finally. How many miles?
I have no idea, but we'll be home soon.
Okay. The Phillies defeated the Royals 9-6 yesterday. The Philadelphia Phillies entered holding the second wild card spot, and the Royals entered the game having won 7 consecutive games. Alec Marsh gave up 3 runs on 6 hits in 4 innings, while Christopher Sanchez allowed 6 runs on 6 hits in 5 innings. Bryce Harper singled, doubled, and homered. That was like I think that was only like his 5th homer of the season.
Yeah.
Trey Turner. The interesting thing about Turner, you guys, if you're Phillies fans, you probably already know this, but the Phillies fans decided to get on social media and just give Trey Turner cheers, just a huge ovation and support for the fact that he wasn't, not Trey Turner.
Yeah, it was Trey Turner.
Yeah, Trey Turner. They were giving him lots of support. He said it brought him to tears. He actually had a good game yesterday, but the fans did group together on social media, and in the stadium, they were just crazy supportive of this kid. He doubled, homered, and drove in 4 runs. It was his 11th of the season and first since July 8th, but I'm telling you, it worked for him, and he was super touched by the way that they came out and supported him, even though he's having such struggles this season. It's not like when you're playing for the Mets or the Yankees and they just literally boo you off the field every time.
All right, you're almost done because we'll be home
Lenny, I'm going to finish the games that I have.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, we're on exit 49. We don't live off of exit 49. We live off of exit 63.
Go ahead.
I'll be done by then. Craig Kimbrell, 19th save and 21 chances. Brandon Marsh exited the game with left knee contusion after crashing into the center field wall. X-rays were negative, and Marsh will have further tests today. Jose Alvarado could be coming back. He's going to throw a bullpen session today. If it goes well, he will pitch in at least 1 minor league game before returning, hopefully next week. Greinke against Taijuan Walker tonight. He's Taijuan Walker 12-4. ERA under 4. Boston Paul says Joey Meneses for president. You got anything to say about that, Leonard?
I agree with him.
I say King Turd for president. The surging Orioles strengthened. There is Eddie here still. Eddie, I can't wait to tell you about this one. This is a good one.
Ooh, a lot of Oriole fans last night.
Oh my gosh, yes, let's tell you about some Oriole fans. Well, we went to this place. It's in Maryland. It's very close. It's close to Baltimore, but it's the nice part of Maryland. Anyway, let me tell you, we met some great Orioles fans. We talked to Phil Backert's dad, who's had an Oriole hat on. We talked to him for a long time. He was telling us it's been 40 years since the Orioles won. They've been doing great things at the ballpark, Eddie. I'm sure you can relate to this. You can probably clarify this. He said that they're doing great things for the fans. He's got season tickets. We talked about the Boog Powell beef sandwich that I love. And it was just a great time. We were definitely in Orioleville where we went to this barbecue. So hats off to the Orioles. Let's get telling you what they did. The Orioles strengthened their position atop the AL East by beating I'd like to insert an adjective here, the lowly, the sad, the stuttering New York Mets 7-3. With their 7th victory in 9 games, the Orioles moved to a season-high 3 games ahead of Tampa and improved their record to an AL best 69-42. They have the best record in the American League. Mets absorbed their 5th straight loss. They fell 10 games under 500. Now that's a season worst. Orioles celebrated the 40th anniversary of their 1983 World Series championship with a pregame ceremony that included Cal Ripken, Eddie Murray, and Jim Palmer. It was a crowd of 44,326. It was the third sellout of the season in Camden Yards. Kyle Gibson pitched 7 innings of 4-hit ball to earn his 100th win. We talked a lot to Phil's dad. What's his name, Tom? It's either Tom or Tim, but it's Phil Backert's dad. He said that we talked a lot about Jack Flaherty and how happy the fans were that the Orioles made a move at the deadline. And, Lenny and I study all the teams, so we have an understanding of what Flaherty is. But Kyle Gibson, 7 innings, 4 hits, 100th career win, 3 runs, 9 strikeouts, and 1 walk. Also, for the Mets, Tyler McGill was recalled from AAA Syracuse before the game. He allowed 4 runs and 9 hits in 4 2/3. Gunnar Henderson homered. Anthony Santander homered. New York's Jeff McNeil hit a 2-run homer. Cedric Mullins began his rehab assignment batting leadoff for AA Bowie. Aaron Hicks is progressing every day and moving closer to a rehab assignment. And John Means remains on course to return in early September for his season debut. No time like now, right? Jose Quintana, he's pitching against Kyle Bradish tonight. Quintana has not allowed a home run in his last 79 2/3 innings. It's the longest active streak in the majors. The A's snapped a 4-game losing streak by beating the Giants 2-1. Fans from both sides joined together again with chants of "Sell the team" as a message to the A's owner, John Fisher, who plans to move the A's to Vegas. Blackburn allowed 2 hits, struck out 7, 3 walks over 6 scoreless innings, and Ross Stripling struck out 7 and didn't walk a batter over 5 1/3. It was his 11th start of the season, and he's still searching for his first win as a Giant. It wasn't just his 11th start, it was his 17th appearance, and he's still searching for his win as a Giant.
For all of you guys who are reaching a certain age, I don't know what that age is. It's generally in the 60s, I would say, something like that. If you notice, I've been on the road. And if you notice, I haven't stopped to go to the men's room. Have you noticed that? The reason, and you should...
Are you going to tell everybody in the chat room?
Absolutely try it. I'm wearing a diaper. That's right, under my shorts. Right? I'm wearing, regular. I look just regular. But underneath, I am wearing a diaper. So, when you're driving 4 or 5 hours like we're doing, I don't have to stop. As a matter of fact, I was wearing it last night at the party, and I actually felt weird when one of our friends said, "Hold on, I gotta go," and he walked into the porta potty that they had, and I said, "What the hell are you doing in there?" All right, almost said, "Here, use my diaper." All right,
slow down.
Slow down. All right, go ahead.
Slow down. We're tailgating.
Go ahead.
Okay. All right.
I'm wearing a diaper. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're not modest around here, dude, okay? We just tell it like it is. It is what it is. Trevor May recorded the final 5 outs for the win, and Jock Peterson hit a tying sacrifice fly. Danny Fuller says, take the top off the large drink cup. But you can't do that in public, and you really can't do it in the car, right, Leonard?
No.
No.
Wear a diaper. It's like nothing. It's a little tough to get used to.
J.R. Matz says Gatorade. J.R. Matz is still in the Gatorade phase of his life.
Oh, he is.
He's peeing into the Gatorade bottles.
Well,
Lenny used to do that too, but he doesn't anymore because it's too difficult.
That's right.
You'll see. You'll see.
Get yourself a diaper. It's great for long trips. That's all I'm going to say. Go.
Yes, we stop occasionally to stretch our legs and we get some food and gas and stuff, but it's just that Lenny can't hold his pee that long. He can't hold it for long. When he has to go, it's like immediate. So when we go on trips in the car, I guess the secret's out now. It's all good. Whatever. All right.
That's what you get for coming to the chat room. You get everything you want to know and everything you don't want to know.
All right, they designated Ramon Laureano for assignment, the A's did, and Thairo Estrada finally came off the injured list after 26-game absence with a fractured left hand. He went 1 for 3 with a walk. The Giants optioned Isan Diaz to AAA Sacramento to clear the room on the roster. We already take the prostate medications. So, Alex Cobb against Luis Medina today. The Minnesota Twins beat the Diamondbacks 12-1. Minnesota won for the 4th time in 5 games to stretch the lead in the American League Central to 3.5 games, and the Diamondbacks had a season-low 2 hits and fell for the 5th straight game and 6th in the last 7 games. Arizona is only 7-21 since July 2nd. Kenta Maeda tossed 6 strong innings. Maeda gave up Lourdes Gurriel's home run and a single by Jace Peterson in the second, but then he retired the final 14 hitters he faced, and in 8 starts since returning June 23rd. Maeda is 3-2 with a 2.47 ERA, including 58 strikeouts. Arizona starter Ryan Nelson allowed 8 hits and 6 earned runs in 3 innings. It was his shortest outing of the season. Ryan Jeffers homered twice and had 3 hits and 4 RBIs. He extended his hitting streak to 11 games. Michael A. Taylor homered for the 3rd straight game. Edouard Julien and Max Kepler had 3 hits each. Lourdes Gurriel homered for the 2nd straight game. I just love that kid. Paul Sewald struck out the side in the 7th inning in his Diamondbacks debut yesterday. And tonight you get to see the hotly awaited Dallas Keuchel. He's scheduled to make his Twins debut today against, you heard it, Zach Gallen.
So Sewald came in the 7th inning? Not in the closer role.
Right, he came in as a bullpen guy. He's not a closer.
Not as a closer, okay.
White Sox. All right, here we go. Here's what the notes we got for the fight. A bench-clearing melee that began with Tim Anderson of the White Sox and Jose Ramirez of the Guardians exchanging punches led to 6 ejections during Chicago's 7-4 win over Cleveland. The Guardians closer, Emmanuel Clase... Wait, I don't know what he did. Manager Terry Francona... Okay, yeah, he was ejected. Clase, manager Terry Francona ejected. Third base coach Mike Sarbaugh, manager Pedro Greifel. They were all ejected for their actions during a 15-minute brawl that included 3 additional flare-ups. The altercation began when Ramirez slid headfirst into second with an RBI double, and Tim Anderson had an attitude and stood up and pointed. He stood right over him, and Ramirez was like, "What the hell are you doing?" Ramirez got up, pointed his finger in Anderson's face, and yelled at him. And then Tim Anderson throws his glove on the ground, and it wasn't too much after that Tim Anderson got knocked to the ground. Jose Ramirez was being held back, and he still knocked down Anderson, no problem. Anderson then, of course, the punk that he is, exits the ballpark before the clubhouse was open to the reporters. I don't blame him there. He charged out of the dugouts even after he was tossed. It was like 5 minutes had passed after he got thrown out of the game, and then he charges out of the dugout, and Andrew Vaughn comes running after him to physically carry him back to the dugout steps. Manager Pedro Greifel, he declined to talk about the fight. He says, "I'm going to let MLB figure this out, and they've got some work to do." He said, "Thank God I haven't heard any news out of the training room about injuries." Elvis Andrus hit a 2-run homer, and Vaughn, Luis Robert Jr., and Oscar Colas each had a solo home run off of Noah Syndergaard, who allowed a career-high 4 home runs yesterday. He made it through 6 innings, but he gave up 5 runs, all on homers. White Sox Michael Kopech carried a no-hitter into the 6th and exited after allowing 2 runs in 5 1/3.
Did he get hurt? Did he get hurt?
No.
Oh.
He improved 2-1 with a 1.78 ERA in 5 career starts against Cleveland. Tim Anderson is not a good example for young fans. I hate to bash on the guy, but he's just a tool. And I know he's frustrated because he hasn't been playing good, so I'll take that into consideration. But when he was playing good, he acted like he was playing good, and he was kind of like uppity about it. He's not. I haven't really. I know a lot of you guys like Tim Anderson, so it's just my opinion. I don't expect anybody else to have it, but I'm not a fan. Never have been a fan. Anderson and Ramirez are likely facing suspensions and perhaps other participants in the fight as well. The White Sox, 24 games under 500, but Cleveland is only 3.5 games behind first place Minnesota in the American League Central. Will Brennan had 2 hits and drove in 2 runs. And Luis Robert continues to play through his pain, but they say that they're carefully monitoring him. He's got a sore back. And there's really no guarantees, but the manager says that he is headed in the right direction. Cal Quantrill threw a simulated game Friday at AA Akron. Francona believes Quantrill will begin a rehab assignment very soon. All right. Blake Perkins singled with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the 10th inning to give the Brewers a 3-2 win over the Pirates.
Akron, by the way.
Akron.
Not Akron.
I can't pronounce. I'm not what. Oh, you're driving me crazy. Just let me finish. Milwaukee increased its lead in the National League Central to 1.5 games over Cincinnati. Corbin Burns 2 hits, but needed 107 pitches to get through 6 innings. He struck out 5 and walked 4. Bailey Falter allowed 1 run and 6 hits in 4 innings in his Pirates debut. Devin Williams got the win. Brandon Woodruff is expected to be recalled today and start, and Colin Ray was optioned to AAA Nashville. Woodruff against Johan Oviedo. The Cardinals beat the Rockies 6-2. St. Louis won its 10,000th game since the franchise adopted the Cardinals moniker in 1900. Steven Matz pitched 6 strong innings, allowed 1 run and 5 hits while striking out 6. He improved to 3-0 with a 2.06 ERA in 6 starts since rejoining the Cardinals rotation on the 9th of July.
Trade for Steven Matz.
Ty Black allowed 4 runs and 8 hits in 4 2/3. That was his 3rd start of the season. Tyler O'Neill hit his 5th homer of the season. Ryan McMahon hit his 100th career home run and 19th of the season. Wilson Contreras 2-run double and Tommy Edman a 2-run triple. Ryan Helsley is scheduled to throw 1 inning today for AA Springfield as he begins a rehab assignment. He's eligible to be activated off the 60-day injured list on Wednesday. Tonight is Austin Gomer against Zach Thompson. Manny Macho Man Machado homered in the 2nd deck in left field in the 4th inning and then hit a go-ahead 2-run single in the 7-run 8th inning for the Padres, who beat the Dodgers 8-3 and snapped a 6-game losing streak to the Dodgers. The Dodgers bullpen, another meltdown, was a similar one by the Padres had on Friday night that helped the Dodgers beat them 10-5, but the Dodgers were the bullpen meltdown this time. The Padres had 6 singles and 3 walks while sending 12 batters to the plate in the 8th inning. Machado does have some hamstring tightness, according to Bob Melvin. And, the Padres are having a disappointing season right now. They're buried in 4th in the National League West. They're 9 games back and 3 games out of the 3rd wild card spot. What is that?
The car.
What's that sound?
He's backfiring. Forget it.
Okay.
You're in no danger. She
All right.
thinks cars are shooting at her.
No, I figured you ran over something,
No,
to
you
be
ran
honest
over-
with
come
you.
on,
I
pay
figured you
attention.
ran over
Yeah,
something.
one more game.
And it's
Go ahead.
stuck under our car. Or we have a flat tire and it's going thump, thump, thump,
Yeah,
thump.
that's
Okay, leave me alone. I'm almost done.
I'm alone.
Okay. Machado has jaw tightness, Danny Fuller says. King Turd says he met Pete Rose in Vegas. What a perfect place to meet with Pete Rose, right? That's funny. Okay, the Padres, we said, they're 4th in the National League West, 9 games back, 3 games out of the wild card spot, with 3 teams ahead of them, and they've been under 500 since May 12th. Blake Snell was done after throwing 108 pitches in 5 innings. His ERA rose from 2.50 to 2.61 after he allowed 3 runs on 4 hits and struck out 8. He also walked 4, though. Now, Yarbrough made his debut with the Dodgers yesterday. He held the Padres to 1 run and 3 hits and 4 1/3 while striking out 3 and walking none.
Pick him up.
He didn't start yesterday. He actually came in after the opener, Michael Grove. But I still agree he will be just fine as a guy that comes in after the opener. In fact, he has a chance to get more wins that way, that's for sure. Grove struck out his first 4 batters, and he and Yarbrough combined to strike out 7 of the first 9 Padres batters they faced. Nick Martinez got the win, and Will Smith hit his 14th homer. Lance Lynn is going to make his second start for the Dodgers today, and Rich Hill is about to make his Padres debut. The Padres are Rich Hill's 13th team, okay? One more game. We have the Mariners beating the Angels for their 4th straight win, 3-2. The Mariners have won 12 of 16 while moving 3.5 games ahead of the Angels in the crowded race behind Toronto for the final American League wildcard spot. The Angels have lost 5 consecutive games since the MLB trade deadline passed, which is horrible. They've also lost 7 of 9 overall, badly weakening the playoff chances of this team.
Go ahead.
Oh, Lordy.
Sure. Fucking dope.
Angels have lost... Okay.
I called them a fucking dope. Okay.
Forgive our language. All right. The Angels, they acquired 6 veterans, and they didn't trade Ohtani at the deadline. They made a bid for their first playoff appearance since 2014, but it doesn't look like they're going to make it. George Kirby pitched 7 stellar innings of 3-hit ball for his career-best 10th victory of the season. He struck out 5 and no walks while going 7 innings for the 4th time in his last 9 outings. That's wonderful for Kirby. We know he's a good pitcher, but he's very good. He finished very good. He struck out 3 Angels in the 6th before getting 3 outs on only 5 pitches in the 7th inning. Very efficient for Kirby. Tyler Anderson, 2 hits and 2 runs over 5 innings for the Angels, but he dropped 1 and 2 in his last 7 starts. Julio Rodriguez, 2-run double, and that was among his 3 hits. He has an RBI in consecutive games for only the 2nd time in a month, though. Ty France added an RBI single in the 8th. Grichuk homered for the 2nd time since he rejoined the Angels last week. Ohtani went 0 for 4, and tonight you get to see Chase Silseth against Bryce Miller. George the Animal Kirby, I don't know if we could call him that, but I think Daniel might have a problem with that because he likes to leave the wrestling nicknames to the wrestlers, right? He wouldn't let me call Macho Man Machado.
George the Animal Steel.
Now it's Macho Manny. Go ahead, say what you want.
No, go ahead. We just got off the expressway, and the podcast is ending exactly when we're pulling into our driveway.
So SM King Turd says that Lance Lynn's roster spot rides on his outing today for his team because he's going to get dumped, and someone's going to get picked up to replace him if he doesn't do well. Danny Fuller, thanks for coming, everybody. Big Al, great to see you. Malpal, of course, we're happy when you're here. Eddie Heckman, we love you. Mega Millions players spurned again as jackpot climbs to $1.55 billion. If Lenny wins, he will be able to open the assisted living luxury facilities for the chat room members.
That's right, and everybody gets a box of diapers.
I call them underwear. I do not like to call them diapers, and Lenny doesn't even care. I try to say underwear to be considerate, okay, to him, and because nobody wants to say they wear diapers, but this guy is actually proud of wearing diapers, right?
It works. It works. The product works. I won't say I'm dry, but at least I didn't have to stop the car. Okay.
Okay. Thanks for coming, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.